even the guys. So they have to, especially with high-def television, you actually you have to wear more makeup than you used to because those cameras are very non-forgiving. So, all right, so that's where they're at. Then we did a total station model. And what you see is where all of that finally ended up. We used Google Offices as a model. Lots of windows, lots of glass, lots of open airy spaces. When we remodeled, we tried to take into consideration our workflow and different places. What we really did not have a lot of opportunity to do in the former workspace is places for our folks to get together and interact. So this is one of those places. This is where the producers can get together with their photographers. Step in here real quick. You guys can come on in. For any of the ladies, you can have a seat in any of the open chairs. Thank you, Terry.
Hi, guys.
Make room. Again, there are a few open chairs. Any of the ladies can sit in those chairs. All right, this is probably for students coming out of school, this is probably the biggest eye-opener, this area coming in, especially if you're trying to get into television. This is called an automated control room, okay? Traditionally, if you're working in some kind of broadcast curriculum, when you do a project at school, you'll have a director, a technical director that'll sit up behind the video switcher and call up all the video sources that the director asked for. You'll have an audio technician that's responsible for all the microphones, the music, the sound of the newscast. You'll have an assistant director who's responsible for calling up graphics and video playback. You'll have studio technicians. Well, in 2011, January 25th, 2011 to be exact, we went into this control room automation environment.
Not many people have gotten that tour from me, Bob. It's critically acclaimed. I've heard all about the tour. He knows about so many facets of this building and history of News 6.
In other words, I know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah.
That's a compliment considering
You don't use both.
I would never.
30.
It's called done skins.
Yeah, well, no, that's what makeup's. That's what's makeup. It's not.
Was he confusing you with your dad?
I don't know, but it was. I don't think so.
All right, see a little red clock up there? We're about 15 seconds there.
15. 10 away.
Now I'll ask you guys to try to be as quiet.
Here we go.
as
Stand
possible.
by. Coming out in 5,
If you're even
4,
just shifting around.
3, 2.
Live, getting results. This is News 6.
Right now at noon, an officer arrests behind bars accused of lying under oath. Now a police chief is talking about his actions.
Also developing a tragedy at the fair. One killed, several others hurt after a ride malfunctions. What we're now learning about the investigation.
Plus, Governor Scott signs a new bill fighting the growing opioid epidemic. What he had to say and why, he says, it hits close to home. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bridget Ellison.
And I'm Justin Mormont. We'll get to those top stories in just a moment. But first, let's welcome in morning anchor Kirsten O'Connor. Very special assignment. Hey, Kirsten. Good stuff. Very important, Kirsten. We'll check back in. Thanks. Well, developing now at noon, a Claremont police officer arrested. He's accused of lying on reports, affidavits, even in sworn testimony in court. And this morning, the police chief spoke about his arrest.
Anna Mark Lehman is live at police headquarters with the new reaction about this at noon.
The police chief here in Claremont says the officer's actions have led to...
All right, Mark, thanks. Let's take you outside right now. Here's a live look. The city, beautiful. It's Thursday afternoon as we are counting down to the weekend. It's almost here.
Yes, it's sizzling too. Meteorologist Candace Campos in for Troy with this hot forecast for us. You said it hot and
actual air temperature is it's still at 86. Humidity is up there at 70%, and the winds are calm, so that's really not going to add much in the way of relief for us. Elsewhere around town, we're pretty much sitting in the 90s in East Marina Beach, Daytona Beach, Cape Canaveral, 85 in Cocoa Beach, and still in the 90s in Ocala, as well as the Villages. Feels like temperatures, again, this is the big number. Cape Canaveral, yesterday you were feeling more like almost 115 degrees, a little cooler if you wanted to stay cooler at 107 degrees. It feels like 100 in Sanford, feels like 103 out in Daytona Beach, and that is where we're going to sit for the next couple of hours. As you look here, we are going to be not really nearing record highs, but it'll certainly be feeling like it. Orlando was topping off about 93 to 94. Melbourne and Daytona Beach also at 93. So we are well above average, but thankfully nowhere near any of these records. I'll pinpoint the chance of rain later on today and a cool down ahead in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thanks, Candace. All new at noon, Governor Scott signed a new bill to fight opioid addiction.
Yeah, this is such a serious problem right now. Hundreds of families have been affected by the epidemic. Satchel Saunders has more on what the governor hopes to change.
This bill is
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a compliment considering
You don't use both.
I would never.
30.
It's called young skin.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's what makeup's. That's what's makeup. Not.
Was he confusing you with your dad?
I don't know, but it was. I don't think so.
All right, see a little red clock up there? We're about 15 seconds there.
15. 10 away.
Now I'll ask you guys to try to be as quiet.
Here we go,
as
stand
possible.
by. Coming out in 5,
If you're even
4,
just shifting around.
3, 2.
Live. Getting results. This is new 6-inch.
Right now at noon, an officer arrests behind bars accused of lying under oath. Now a police chief is talking about his actions.
Also developing a tragedy at the fair. One killed, several others hurt after a ride malfunctions. What we're now learning about the investigation.
Plus, Governor Scott signs a new bill fighting the growing opioid